What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we got so much Little Nightmares news to talk about. I'll just start off by saying this. This is how you do a showcase, okay? I mean, it's a property. It's one property, but they managed to spin off a pretty darn good show with an enhanced edition of the first game, details, a release date, gameplay of the third game, and then just a bunch of, like, random other, a podcast and comics. And, I think they just did a killer show, and I just want to kind of give them props first thing in this video. But we do have a lot to talk about, as I just kind of alluded to. So third game comes out on October 10th. It's coming out pretty much on all modern consoles, including even the Switch 2. Now, they do say in terms of pre-orders, you can pretty much pre-order it on everything except for the Switch 1 and Switch 2. As I said, in terms of the editions, you got standard, you got deluxe. I think those are going to be obviously the most popular, but you also have this mirror edition, which, like I said, kind of pseudo collector's edition type stuff. It's got a lot of stuff that would come in a collector's edition, right? You got the figurine of Low and Alone, which we'll talk about as this video goes. You got a metal case, you got an art book, you got a physical and digital soundtrack, stickers. It's a pretty meaty thing. I'm actually pretty pleased with it. And then you have the premium spiral edition, which gives you a lot of the same stuff, except now you have like that themed box, the token, the phone holder. So a couple different things you get in one versus the other. And by the way, it looks like if you just pre-order the base edition, I'm trying to look at the different stores and it's actually a little confusing, but I think if you just pre-order the base edition, which say like on PlayStation is $40, $39.99, if you pre-order it, you also still get the enhanced edition for free. So, again, the deluxe edition really has that expansion pass as like the main thing, and it's $60. So you're pretty much spending $20 extra for the expansion, and then I think that the other two are 100 and 120, somewhere in that range. So it's not, the highest range is not too high. A little confusing how they're doing it with just like the base, standard, and deluxe edition, but there you go. And then in terms of, the actual game itself, I think the biggest takeaway, or one of the biggest takeaways, is that it feels a part of it, right? I think with Supermassive, I don't know how many people were like worried, saying it like that, but obviously they help with Little Nightmares 2, and then they're fully taking on the franchise in the third game. It feels like it belongs. I think that's a really important. There's just kind of like a tonally, feel to it. I think it feels like it belongs in the franchise, and that's a good thing. Like I said earlier, we get the names of these two, Low and Alone, boy, girl, and then you also get their abilities, right? I believe Low's got the bow and can kind of be used to not necessarily stun, but like half take out enemies, and then Alone's wrench can be used to break things and also break enemies. You see both of them in action. So you see the wrench like breaking these like wooden planks to be able to walk through it, and then you see using the bow shoots the light down, which is kind of in that carnival kind of like a puzzle sequence to it. So you imagine you're going to use both of them. Another big thing that came out of this that I think is super sweet, following really Joseph Fares, right, of Hazelight, is they're doing the just buy one get one free kind of deal. So if you get it, you can only do this online. Remember, the co-op in this game is not split screen. It's only online co-op, not local co-op. So you buy the game and then you can share it with a person. And like EA and what they do with Hazelight, they are very forgiving. They literally, you can play it as many times as you want. You can play it with a person, then share it to a different person, play it all the way through. I don't think it's gonna be like that, but they did like flat out say you get the game, you'll be able to give it to another person to play with you for like that duration. Whether or not it like recycles, again, I think what he does is kind of very special. So I wouldn't expect that as the norm. But that's a big deal, because it's like, okay, up until this point, I think we thought you get it, I get it, we can both play it. Now it's I can just share it with you. But it's looking fantastic. The 2.5D type atmosphere that they do, and using like the carnival ride and ending it on the roller coaster, like I definitely would have liked to have seen that. But I think that's probably a really cool scene in the game. So maybe to save that, for us to experience later on. Super cool. Like I said in the beginning, I think they did an amazing job. I'm very excited about it. Comes out in a very packed October, but I think it's going to be a really good one. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.